Hello everyone, today's video is about exotic components and the best way to farm them on the Division 2. It was announced that in Season 10 you'll be able to farm exotic components from control points and from Dark Zone caches that you can open, so the Dark Zone boxes. And when Season 10 came out, the Dark Zone worked, the control points didn't, but in the recent TU 16.2 update that went live yesterday, they did fix the control point issue and you can now farm exotic components from control points. There's still a lot of confusion about this though, because they're not dropping that often, and we're going to discuss that in this video today, and also the best ways to farm exotic components right now. So if you enjoyed this video, please do hit like and share to support it. I'd really appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you're new here today for more content from myself as well. And I just want to plug my fantastic gaming community that I've got. We're nearly at 26,000 members in the community. If you've not seen us, you've not been in there, come and check us out at the end of today's video. It's linked at the top of the video description. So last night I completed a lot of control points. I was trying to get the exotic components to drop like many other people have been, and they're just not dropping. You can see the control point reward at the top of the screen there. They're not dropping in there. So I thought it's either going to be like a control point completion reward, or it's going to drop in the control point cache that you open. I assume cache, because I think that's how it was worded when they originally said this was going to happen. But I did about 6 or 7 control points on heroic last night. I got no exotic components from any of the control point rewards at the top of the screen or the caches that I opened. They just weren't dropping for me, and a lot of people were saying this after yesterday's update, and they're thinking that the exotic components were still bugged. Now, I can confirm that they're not still bugged because of this tweet here. So, Arent tagged me on Twitter yesterday saying exotic component from control point crate are random. They tagged nothing but Skills, Rogue Gold, Lieutenant Buzz Lightyear and myself. Let's share it to the community. So we're sharing it to you now. Yannick said it's a random drop. You're not going to get them on every control point. You're not going to get them each time. So how often are they going to drop from control points? I don't know. I wanted to try and get some of this information for you, but I was going for about an hour last night, and control point after control point, I just wasn't getting any. I couldn't even tell you where it drops. Now, I'd like to assume it's when you get like the Haunted House captured completion rewards there. It dropped there, kept keeping an eye on that. It's either that, or when you go into the supply room and you open the big yellow crate, it's going to be in there, or one of the loot items in this room maybe. I'm not sure. If you have got an exotic component from a control point, please do let me know down in the video comments so others can see where exactly it drops. But it is quite rare. It's a random drop, and I must have done close to 10 control points last night. I don't know, but I didn't even get one. So that got me thinking, what is the best way to farm exotic components now in the Division 2? Because control points for me certainly isn't it. I was playing this on heroic, and what I wanted to find out is the difference between heroic and normal, say. But with them dropping so little on heroic, I doubt they're going to drop much more on normal either, or whether it's the same drop rate or whatnot. It is quite rare though. So if control points aren't the way to go, what is? Well, the Dark Zone does work very well. Now, in the Dark Zone, at every landmark, you got one of these like Dark Zone caches, which is already open on my screen. If you have Dark Zone keys, you can open that, and the person that opens it gets an exotic component. I'm pretty sure it's a guaranteed drop. Now, you are limited on keys. If you run out of keys, you can't open them, but you can steal them. And if you're in a group, it's only for the person that opens it. It's not for the whole group, which is a little bit annoying. And also in the Dark Zone, although these are great to farm, you're going to get distracted by PvP players and all sorts. So it probably isn't the best farm. And for me, the absolute best way to farm exotic components right now in the Division 2 is Countdown. This mode is absolutely OP for all sorts. Making builds, getting materials, getting whatever items you want to drop, and that's including exotic components, because you can target the loot for starters, and that's got a chance of dropping exotics. Exotics can drop off any enemy now as well. It's a random drop, but if you target something like shotguns or weapons, you got more chance of them dropping, or masks, say. Make sure you're not targeting like gear sets or brand sets, because then they won't drop. So target some weapons or some actual pieces, and you got a chance of exotics to drop as you're playing. You can then dismantle these exotics to get the exotic components. You can also complete your weekly legendary project to get an exotic cache. The seasonal activities that you can complete to get exotic caches as well, like the current league that's on, global events, when they're on, you can claim stars and buy exotic caches. But exotic caches and playing Countdown is going to be your best grind for exotic components. In the last few weeks, I've been hammering Countdown, and we've just been saving all of the Countdown currency to see how high we can get it, to see if there's a cap. You can see here I got 14,721 currency. Now, that's really, really good. If we were to divide that by the 224 currency that it takes to buy one exotic cash, I've got 65 exotic caches there to buy, each cache giving me an exotic component. So I've got 65 exotic components saved up just by playing Countdown. So my advice to you now, if you are looking to grind exotic components, is forget control points, play Countdown with a group. If your matchmaking go on challenging, you're not going to get as much Countdown currency from challenging, but it is still enough. But if you've got a good group to play with, play on heroic. For every heroic Countdown completion, it's pretty much one exotic component. It's just short. Play as much as that as you can. Like I said, matchmake for challenging if you can't get a heroic group. That's really, really good as well. You'll soon save up that Countdown currency, and you'll be able to buy a ton of exotic caches while also targeting your loot, so you get a chance of exotic drops during the Countdown as well for you to dismantle. You're going to get the most exotic components this way for your expertise and making all your items better. So that's my advice right now. I do hope they buff the control points and make them drop a little bit more often. That'd be really, really good. And Dark Zone, as I said earlier, is also a fun way to grind exotic components too, although I don't think it's the most efficient like Countdown is. But that's all this video is today. I just want to talk about exotic components and control points and how it's working, and also what I feel is the best way to grind exotic components. If you have, again, enjoyed the video, please do hit like and share to support it. Subscribe if you're new here. And now you're done, come and check out our fantastic gaming community. It's linked at the top of the video description. Until next time, thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace out.